Hey, welcome to worshiptutorials.com. I'm Bradford. Today I have a really fun lesson I think that you're going to like. I'm going to be talking about how you can use a looper pedal or a looper function within a pedal and apply that in worship, and how you can do that in a way that's going to be maybe different than you would have thought. A lot of people will use pedals, looper pedals, or a looper function within a pedal to play a chord progression, play on top of that, or to stack parts, and that's great, and that's obviously a great way to do that. But I'd highly recommend not doing that unless you're running to a metronome or your drummer is a human metronome, because that could be very easy if you're basing your sound off of a recorded chord progression on a looper. That could be very easy to get off track. So what I'm going to suggest is finding a way to, maybe for a transition or maybe to stack a part that is not time sensitive, that is not meter sensitive, if you're following me. Today I'm using a POD HD500x and I'm using the looper mode, and it is super easy to use. There's actually a big old button that says looper, and as soon as you push it, you got it. So most loopers function the same way. The record, the overdub button is the same button. A play and a stop button is together. And then depends on the pedal. This one I have one that says undo. I have a button that says it'll play what I just recorded once. I have a button that'll play what I just recorded at half speed, and it'll play what I just recorded in reverse. Those are great and those are fun to mess with, but right now I just need a record and an overdub button. And a volume pedal, or maybe the volume knob on your guitar, will work great. So what I have here is my 72 Fender Thinline Telecaster Reissue. Have not done anything to it. The pickup selector knob, the black top is flipped off and that's gone, and that's all I've done that looks different than anybody else's. We're going in, like I said, to the POD HD500x. I am in looper mode. I'm going to be playing something in the key of G, and I'm gonna do a couple things. I'm going to show you just something you can use to loop, and then I'm going to apply one of our other lessons on top of that. I talked about a chord voicing lead kind of part you can use for transitions. And so this part I'm about to show you can double as transitional if you want, or maybe something in the middle of a song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this looper on at the second that I start rolling in my my volume pedal and bringing in my sound. So I'm going to play just the bottom of this G chord here. I'm going to play these two notes, my E and my B string. The delay time that I have is not super important as to what we're doing. I like keeping it a little fast, that way it kind of almost works as like sustain, but you'll see why in a second why it almost doesn't matter. So also this is the back end of your G major scale. So my two fingers are on the E string and the B string, both on the 3rd fret. So I'm going to do this all I want. When I roll my volume pedal, I want to hear this. So what I want to do is I'm going to count what I roughly think a measure is going to be equal to for this transition, for this song, whatever you're going to keep in your head, so you can kind of follow this and make this sound as tight and as good as it can sound. But what we're going to do is I'm going to hit record, count that measure of 4, and turn off the record. But when I do that on this particular pedal, it will enable overdub. So anything I'm playing will continue to get recorded. Now, if you do not want to do that, normally you can just hit the play button and it'll stop recording and immediately keep playing what you're recording. But the reason I want to do that is because I want this spillover. I don't want this hard, so I don't want this sound. I do not want that. Very Eric Johnson, but it's not what I want. So what I want to do is I want to swell and hit as I hit the record, maybe a second or so beforehand. I want to hit record and swell in. Hit overdub and let it go. So almost what I have right now is this backing track, almost like pads. And you know what? We have great pads you may want to check out. You're going to want to use those to some extent in your worship services. And this could be something, a great layer to add on top. But right now, this sounds nice. Now, this is not something you want to do in a very intimate moment if you cannot control the volume. Most loopers do have a volume control though, and if yours do, then use that. But what you want to use here is with this here, this I want to make sure you can hear, is I'm going to use that voicing I showed you for, here's a G major chord, C, B minor, A minor, G. You can do some volume swells on top. So this is great to transition in between a song, maybe to start out a service if you're starting really contemplative. It's not super loud if you control the volume, and it's very subtle if you get it sitting like that. Like I said, using the volume control in your looper, but it gives you a little something to play underneath, and maybe the song is over and you can record this beforehand. It's still there. I'm going to keep that, and maybe at the end of a song as we're... So when the band sizzles out, still there, keeping momentum up so you can get ready for your next song. Well guys, I hope this helps you guys figure some ways to transition in between songs, to start up a new song, to start a service, come out of the message, however you could think to apply it. I hope this helps in some ways. I would suggest trying it, but not on a Sunday. Try it on a rehearsal, see what your teammates think, and apply that voicing we also have talked about. That'll give a nice little texture to things, and that'll create a nice little space that, hey, you, the guitarist, sounded like a keyboard or piano player. So, check out the website for more information. Be on the lookout for more videos as we are always adding more. Thanks for joining us.